A lot of teenager out here. A lot of teenager out here. A lot of teenager out here. That's what I see. I see all these police driving back and forth. Right? Why? Because I left. You can't control me and you can't tell me what to do. I'll tell you what, you cannot try to manipulate me through your subliminal, through your silent sound, because I'm speaking the truth. So now people are starting to listen and notice that y'all are full of shit. Y'all full of bullshit. Y'all manipulators, deceivers, right? And not because this is what they do. Once people start to listen to you and see what's going on, this is what they do. You know, like I said, they try to play matchmaker. It's not about matchmaker. It's about separating us. It's about creating a mindset within, particularly within black women, of having all these options that they will, ignore their children, right, for the men that they consider to be high value. But those men are being manipulated and used, right? And so they know that these women who, again, because the idea planted in the minds of our women are men making over a certain amount of so-called high value men. This is why they all talking about, I want a man that's making over 100K. So if they all want the man that's making 100K, and you look at how many black men actually make that, why are those men going to settle when they got black women throwing asses at them left and right? You know what I'm saying? So why are they going to settle? And then black women will say, well, if I can't have him, at least I can enjoy him spending some money on me. He's not spending no money on you. Okay? He's not spending no money. At least not the kind of money you think he's supposed to spend on you. Right? Because they will leave a good man who will buy them gifts, what have you, and they will mess with a dude, okay, who will buy them one or two things for the year, but that good man they had was buying them gifts all the time. Right? You know what I'm saying? But they don't see it like that. They don't think about it like that. Right? So when people start to wake up, when particularly black women start to wake up, then they know that they're going to be in serious trouble. Okay? And I'm talking about corporate America, because when black women start to realize how they are being duped into driving themselves into poverty and remaining in poverty because of the many different product markets that are marketed towards them, right? I mean, look, if black women spent buying power is something over $20 billion a year, right? Imagine if they save half of that money that they spend. Right? Imagine that. So they, like I said, they always try to play this matchmaker thing, but they're not about making good matches. What they're about is trying to match people who say that they're Christian, right, and have Christian value but don't practice it. So you can't try to match with people who, and this is the church fault. This is, again, the church is to blame for this also. Right? And like I said, I'm so glad that a lot of black women are doing these videos now, saying that they come to the realization that the churches are keeping them single, right? Because again, you keep the women single, you have them in the church. That's why they have all these church mixing. The majority of those people that go to these single mixing by the church are all women, and there's barely any men in there. Why? Because the men have realized what the church have done to the minds of our women, and they want no part of it. They want no part of it. Right? Our women will come to these single mixing. They're overweight, they're obese, right? They come with very high expectations, right? They're loud, okay? They don't exude femininity. It's just masculinity. Right? And men are tired of it, because we see them lose the weight when they dated Enrique. We see them lose the weight when they dated Brad. Right? We see all of that. We see them talking about, This is what my white boyfriend, my white husband bought for me, when they're the ones that are buying those things and then flexing on social media as if he is buying those things. This is the extent black women will go through to try to show up and shame black men. But when in a relationship with black men, they expect that black man to buy them every damn thing. So no, black men know that our women are the ops. Right? And so we got to start to teach the young generation of black boys and girls and young black men and women, what's going on, so that they don't fall into that trap, because it's only going to get worse for our children and their children. Okay? We need to understand what's going on. And this is why the white supremacists, the police, they go back and forth, because they know what they're doing. And I'm exposing what they're doing. Like I said, my purpose is greater than theirs. Right? But you want to know why they think their purpose is greater than mine? Why? Because of what they're about. They're liars, they're manipulators, they're deceivers. They're in position of authority. And they know the psychology of people, right? How people will listen to those in authority without question. And they know that black people who are believers, then that's why they're going to believe them. Okay? So they studied the science, and they use the science against us. And we use belief to make each other feel good. They use our belief system to make us feel good and to ignore our reality. Alright? They ignore it, I mean, we live in a so-called blue liberal state, but it's the most segregated in terms of the school system. Right? These charter schools that they open up, they're using schools, junior high school, that are predominantly black and Hispanic students. Right? The junior high schools and the high schools that are predominantly white students, it's not charter school. And if they are, it's rare. Okay? It's very rare. So come on now. Like I said, our people gotta wake up, gotta understand what's going on. I don't care what these cops are out here running their lights and all this shit, what have you, such and such. Okay, I can give a damn about them, because they can give a damn about us as people. And we need to understand that. We need to understand that. Okay? Because when they take away the rest of our rights, okay, who's the thing, the people they're going to abuse? And the fact that these cult leaders, particularly within the churches, that involve their children to participate in psychological operation, covert operation, to lie, right, to bring false accusation, right, when the very own Bible, like they open up, what does it say? Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, right? So they, like I keep saying, they don't believe the shit that they read, and they claim to believe it, particularly in that book, because no one can believe everything in that damn book. Okay? Yeah, I said that damn book. Right? Because we need to damn that damn book. Right? And we need to damn these racist white people for doing what they continue to do. They don't want an equal society because they believe that they are superior. Right? They don't want to treat us fairly, even in liberal states. Even in liberal states. So like I said, black people, we need to get off these damn party plantation. Right? Go join the Green Party or start your own damn political party. Right? Train your candidates. Look for young black students who want to get into political science. Right? And then, you find people to mentor them. Right? You find people to mentor them. Right? Lawyers, find lawyers, black lawyers, to mentor them in the law, so that when they become politicians, right, they're not going to fall into these traps. Look at like Mayor Eric Adams. That's the problem when you have a police officer who runs as mayor, but is embroiled in corruption. right? Because he thinks that God put him in that position. Well, if God put you in that position, God should be putting you in that position to do right for your people. But that's not what he has done. Look at these kids. These children, I should say. Or these teenagers. I was talking to the bus driver. He was like, why all these kids? I said, listen, it's a nice Saturday night. Just because you see a bunch of black teenagers hanging out doesn't mean that they're up to no good. We need to stop this mindset. Right? It was done to us also, even though some of us were up to no good. But so what? You have white teenagers who hang out, in the suburbs, what have you, and some of them are up to no good. Okay? So I have to tell them, I say, we need to stop this mindset. That because we see a whole bunch of black teenagers that they're up to no good. No, let them enjoy their Saturday, their Friday night. If their parents allow them to be out here this late at night, hey, you know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that couldn't be my teenagers. Like that could be my son out here this time of night like that. No. But again, like I said, a lot of we have to understand the dynamics, and so. If you see them, if you're an adult, a black man, you see them getting into trouble, step up and say, hey, don't do that. Okay, that's what we need. What they have done is they have manipulated us into abandoning our young people. All right, and we should see them as our children also. Okay. Again, you gotta be smart though, because some of these teenagers, they grow up in some rough houses. And in some rough communities, so they have a certain mindset. So, like I said, you just got to be smart. But I mean, like I said, these children are having their, and they're together. So it's not like they're by themselves walking the street late at night. So, let them enjoy the beautiful weather we have. Look at this shit. What's up with the machine? It was working fine though. I got money in the car though. I just put money on there. All right, well, good. Look. Look at that shit. What I say? Perfect the mundo. All the proof that I need.